Hey guys, what's up? Ord928 here, and I want to talk about Pokemon in this episode. And before I actually get in depth of what I think and how I started playing Pokemon, I'm going to give some backstory of what Pokemon really is. In 1996, a man named Satoshi Tajiri, with the help of Game Freak and Nintendo, created Pocket Monsters for the Game Boy, starting with Pocket Monsters Red and Green. The sprites for some Pokemon, let's look at some Farfetch'd, Machop, and Grimer. As you can see, the sprites in Pokemon Red and in Pocket Monsters Red and Green, apologies, they were very unpolished compared to what we got. So, Japan had the idea of releasing Pokemon Blue, or Pocket Monsters Blue in Japan. Pocket Monsters Blue changed the sprites to look more like what they were supposed to resemble. Let's take a look at some of the Pokemon Blue sprites. Squirtle, Pidgey, and Dratini. Satoshi Tajiri decided to base Pokemon on his favorite thing to do when he was a kid. He loved to collect bugs. What kid didn't like to collect bugs in their child years? Well, me. I didn't like bugs, but he based it off of that. And also, a little known fact, they were going to call Pokemon Pocket Monsters in America, but there was an existing series called Monsters in My Pocket. So if they were to release Pocket Monsters called what it is in America, they would have gone through some really bad legal issues. The TV series was a little weird from people in Japan, sorry, I apologize, I'm doing this unscripted, I don't know why, but I'm just doing it anyway, because I don't have time to write a script. Whatever. Let's continue. The Pokemon TV series in Japan was very weird because originally all TV shows in Japan were not made until the manga came out. Things like Fullmetal Alchemist and One Piece started off as mangas. Everything in Japan, any anime, starts off as a manga, and if the manga gets popular enough, it'll spin off into a TV series. However, the TV show for Pokemon came first, and then the manga came. Now that we got all the backstory out of the way, let's continue with how I started Pokemon. Pokemon started for me in 2003 when I first played Pokemon Yellow. Now that was the first Pokemon game I had ever played, and then I started playing Pokemon Ruby. I skipped Pokemon Gold and Silver because I didn't even know that they were out. I went from Pokemon Yellow to Pokemon Ruby. Although I think I was the lucky one because I got Ruby and my brother got Sapphire. So I was able to get Zangoose, he was able to get Seviper. But that's going to be a whole different rant in itself. Either way, Pokemon Yellow was a very, very fun game for me, even though for the most part I had no idea what I was doing until I was 5 years old, when I started to get more into the Pokemon series. However, I really hated Lavender Town like many other people, because at the time when I started playing Pokemon Yellow, I didn't have a computer, so I didn't know anything about Lavender Town, but whenever I would get to it, I would either turn the volume down, but if I didn't have that option, or if I was using headphones or something, I would always cry when I would get to Lavender Town, because the music scared me so much. And in the year 2005 is also the same year when Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire came out, and I got my Game Boy Advance SP and threw away my Game Boy and my Game Boy Color. Little did I know, nowadays I really wish I didn't, because I really want my Game Boy Color right now. But either way, I was really, really excited for the release of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. And also, I made a mistake when I said it came out in 2005. It actually came out in 2003. I didn't play it until 2005. I thought that when I got a game, that I got it the same year when it came out, so I was very stupid as a child. But I was very excited for the release of a new Pokemon game, and I thought this was the second installment in the franchise because I never knew about Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. And so that's really what got me into Pokemon. I still played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I have the games. I'm currently playing through Pokemon White right now, and I've beaten Pokemon Pearl so many times. But that's really all I have for today, knowing the fact that Pokemon is such a huge franchise because it had the ability to get a nation of children and adults who like the game to congregate into one area and just be free from reality. So I'm Martin Wait, giving you food for thought. I'll see you later.